tell you again, there are a lot of lies going around. People claiming that they have what they don't have. For some reason, I don't trust you.
Hi Bethans, what's up and welcome back to my channel. My name is Austin Betha. I'm so glad to have you guys here. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly click on the subscribe button before you leave. Also give this video a very big thumbs up right now or at the end, you know, if you enjoyed watching the video. Okay, now guys, of course today from the title you know we're here to talk about the Real Housewives of Lagos, and of course this is episode 5 of the show. As always, I will leave the links to the previous episodes in the description box just in case you haven't watched any of those. You know, please check them out so you can have an idea of what we're talking about. All right, now from the last episode, you guys remember, you know, I was a bit, you know, I don't really understand that episode because they're not really end well in my opinion. Okay, it was obviously Chioma's getaway treat for the other ladies, and of course she gave them rooms to come with, you know, +1s and all of that. And in the last episode, the way the thing ended, I did not really understand it. I came here and I told you guys about it, so obviously they continued from that very spot. So the first thing that opened to us was the ladies, you know, just still sitting at the area where they were, and it was time for games. Okay, it was time for them to play games, and because Chioma was the host, she came up with the game ideas. Well, not all of it, but she came up with the first game that they played, and it was the dancing chair thing, guys. That game brought back memories because there was never a time I won that game. Every time when they play that game, they always knock my nyash for ground. Like, they always drag the chair come out. But I know they did front of chair when the song stopped, so it was just a very terrible game for me. So watching them play that, you know, I kept on laughing and laughing. And let me tell you guys, Miriam that was introduced to us in the previous episode, that was in the 4th episode, you know, she just came to just carry all the glory, I mean, carry all the crown, because she was just giving them back to back. So let me tell you, Miriam is an absolute vibe. Okay, Miriam now vibe, she carry come. She won the dancing chair game. You know, at the end of everything, it was remaining just Miriam and Chioma. But then, you know, Miriam won, even though Chioma said, oh, because she's the host, it would be funny for her to win, so she was going to let Miriam win. I don't really know that one. Wait till I know we say Miriam win the game fair and square. Okay, anyways, after that they played the Never Have I Ever, and all the questions where they asked there, Miriam just the drink.
Never ever kissed a girl.
All you have to do is how many, and let me just finish it.
How many? How many? Oh, she's finished it.
You know, have you had a threesome? Have you slept when you're having sex? You know, she told this. Wait till the apple. Miriam they drink, others they drink. I say wait till the apple. But I say all these women, they don't do all the things finished for this world. You know, it was just really crazy. And Carolyn was just there really cringing, like, oh my god, how can they even share these things? Oh my god, this is just a game. They shouldn't be sharing all these things. Carolyn don't really understand why they can't share all those things. You know, then it got to the point where they were now playing truth or dare, and that was the part for me where I felt like see why I know they like truth or dare games, because they go ask you some kind of questions maybe say normally you don't go won't answer. All right, so of course during the truth or dare, Toyin decided to ask Carolyn a question, and her question was, Carolyn, what really happened between you and your ex-husband? And Carolyn wasn't having it. Like,
why is she always trying to talk about my marriage? If Toyin feels like talking about someone's marriage, you should start with her baby daddy first.
And for me, I'm like, okay, that was too personal. I mean, not everybody wants to talk about their ex and all of that. Like, the question was somehow, okay, it was really somehow. Then the part where Miriam asked Laura, oh Laura, why did you get your nose and your chin done? Like, Kuku gave me.
Why did you decide to inject your nose and chin? And nose and chin, to stretch it and stretch it.
Miriam, you will just come. When we say you're supposed first keep quiet, now you there forward, now you there ask all the questions. And at some point Laura actually felt like, you know, Miriam was doing too much. At some point really I felt the same way, like, okay, I get it, Miriam, you're a vibe, you know, you're outspoken and all of that, but babe, tone it down a bit. Okay, you just got here. That's just how I saw it. You just got here. I understand that she was really trying to blend and all of that, but for me, there was no need. Now, that's my personal opinion. I'm not saying you have to agree with me. I mean, as a matter of fact, let me know what you think about Miriam and just how she reacted at that game, or I don't know what I'll call that, but just let me know what you think about Miriam, okay? Anyways, Laura went ahead to answer the question, and she was like,
first of all, I've always wanted a bridge.
You know, she had always wanted a bridge. You know, let's say her nose been flat before and everything, so she wanted it to be a bit pointed, and she wanted the jaws to, like, you know, just really come out. So yeah, according to her, she has never done any surgery. You know, that one was just based off of injections. It wasn't like she did a surgery or any of that. And for her, she's not against it. Or, you know, if you want to do any surgery, anything that makes you feel better, go for it. But for her, she hasn't, and she feels like maybe in the future she will do 1 or 2 surgeries. So yeah, they had that. Miriam even went on to ask Chioma's +1, Ogechi, you know, why do you come off as a bitch? I'm like, okay, sister, you carry this book for mine before you come. You know, because all these questions, like, oh my god, she was asking the girl, like, why do you behave like a bitch, or why do you come off like a bitch? And the girl is like, it depends on who is asking. I mean, I can be a bitch to some people, but for me, I feel like I'm a very chilled person. Then Toyin was like, oh, but I think it's fake. And the girl's like, okay, if you think it's fake, then it means I've been faking it all my life.
Why do people perceive you as a bitch?
Maybe I'm a bitch sometimes. It depends on who's.
Next time she tries to own it, if you're a full-time bitch or a non-time bitch, like, own it.
For me, I felt like that was unnecessary. I mean, there was no need to taxi the other girls. Just attack yourselves, you know, attack the fellow housewives. Leave the guests out of it. But oh well, they asked the girl, and the girl just calmly and politely answered the question. And for Chioma, she feels like her friend Ogechi, you know, she's not pretending. She feels like Ogechi just tends to be herself more. When she's around people she's very comfortable with, other than that, she's a very reserved person and all of that. But yeah, they had that, and you know, we moved on to the next. Okay, now it was the next morning, and Toyin was seated by the pool, and of course we saw Miriam, who is obviously Toyin's friend, you know, walk up to Toyin, and she basically wanted Toyin to gist her about the ladies. For some reason, she felt like she needed some gist, you know, so it's easier for her to blend in and all of that. And I love the way Toyin handled it. Toyin was like, no, you have all the time to blend with the ladies, you know, get to know them. Matter of fact, you know, Chioma had already made plans for them to go to the park and just have some fun. Now Toyin wasn't going to be available for that, but obviously Miriam was supposed to be there, and she felt like, you know what, this is an avenue for you to get to know the ladies for yourselves, you know, not necessarily me telling you what to expect and what not to expect. And then Miriam is like, you know me, I'm chilled until somebody looks for my trouble, yada yada yada. And Toyin is like, yes, I know you, but just go to the park, okay? Get to meet these ladies for yourselves, get to know them, you know, so it's not like I'm telling you what to believe of them. And she hugged Miriam, and you know, that was the end of that particular scene. Now, of course, that same morning we saw Chioma leave her room, and she headed to Caroline's room. Of course, I mean, Caroline and Chioma seem to be getting really close, and you know, they just have a lot of things going on. So of course, she stopped first at Caroline's room, and of course, she just wanted to know what's up with Caroline, like how was she feeling and all of that. Like the previous night, yeah, Caroline wasn't really giving her best energy, so Chioma felt like there was a need to ask since she was the host. Now I have to give that to Chioma. Chioma is a very good host, not just with, you know, hosting them. She just wants to make sure that they're comfortable, and for me, that's wisdom. Okay, it's only somebody that is wise that wants to make sure that, you know, her guests are okay and all of that, and I give her a thumbs up for that. Okay, anyways, she actually started asking Caroline, you know, what's up, what happened. Caroline wanted to start lying before, so she has a dick, you know, she has this one, she has this one. Chioma did not believe, me too, I did not believe, until it got to the point where Chioma is like, okay, can you now tell me what was wrong with you yesterday? And she's like, well, first of all, she wasn't comfortable, you know, being among people that she didn't really know, blah blah blah. Chioma was like, hey, I said it because you were just quiet, you know. Chioma now asked her, okay, well, how do you feel about the question Toyin asked you yesterday about your ex-husband? And she's like, Toyin needs to actually respect people's privacy, you know. Just because she's no longer with her husband doesn't mean she doesn't respect the guy. For her, she feels like the guy is doing everything in his power to be a good father to their child, and she wants to leave it at that. And she feels like people should stop raising the question about, oh, what happened, you know, why people not together. Just leave me, leave my children, leave my private life out of it and all of that, you know. She wasn't really having that.
What did you think about Toyin's question to you though?
I would really appreciate it if no one asked me about my ex-husband.
Anyways, they had that conversation, and then after they talked and all of that, yeah, Chioma now went over to Laura's room, and for me that was the sweetest moment. Okay, Chioma went to Laura's room and she's like, hi, you know, how are you? You know, I just wanted to be sure that that we're good, especially because there's been tension between us before now, and you know, she just wanted to make sure that, you know, she and Laura were on the same page. And for me, I felt like both of them bared their hearts out. You know, Laura was like, you know, I understand that we're not friends, you know. You guys remember the whole friends thing. See, that's a Pepe Laura, because throughout this episode, Laura kept on referring to it. Oh, just know when somebody is your friend and when you're just a client. I said, this thing where Chioma tell Laura, the thing pain and my entire bone marrow, because, you know, she was like, I understand that we're not friends, but you know, we're cool, no hard feelings, you know, I had fun last night, your friends are chilled, you're a good host, blah blah blah. And then Chioma was like, oh, that's so sweet. You know, they hugged it off. Chioma told her, okay, you know what, today we're going out, so we're going to the park. You know, they just had that chit chat.
I feel way better now that I know that we're cool, but we're not friends.
Chioma was just trying to make sure that Laura was okay, considering the fact that, you know, they've had their bad moments and all, and now she's the one hosting. She felt it was really important, and I totally agree. Okay, now of course they moved on to showing us when the housewives went to the park. Like I mentioned earlier, Toyin wasn't there. Instead, her daughter Tiannah was there. You know, she came with Miriam, and it was actually fun. Tiannah won the race. I mean, it was so funny. Laura was almost close to winning, but then her ride got bad, and you know, she had to stop. Then Tiannah just zoomed past her, and that was how she won. So yeah, congratulations to you, Tiannah, for coming to win on your big aunties. Yeah, I give that to you. Okay, anyways, after that they moved on to having dinner. Like I said, Chioma puts everything in place. Like if prim and proper was a word, that would be Chioma. All right, so she came looking all gorgeous, you know, pulled up in a Rolls Royce. That's vibes, okay, vibes. That her dress, mad vibes. Anyways, she walked into the dinner area, and then we saw Laura alongside her friend, that's her +1 as well. And you know, after they waited a while, the other housewives came and all of that. Guys, remember at this point Iyabo hadn't returned. I told you guys in the last episode that Iyabo kind of traveled. She was a part of this whole trip, and this trip was actually held in Abuja. That was where Chioma took the housewives to. It was in Abuja. They were at Transcorp Hilton, and you know, when the housewives gathered together, by the way, they were all looking stunning. Carolyn's friend, you know, her +1 came. That one had this big gilly. I'm like, okay sis, okay, all right sis, all right. Anyways, they all gathered, and of course they started talking. Chioma felt like it would be nice for them to just have this session where it's like you're telling another person what you thought about the person before and what you think about them now. And you know, Laura said some things about Toyin. She was just trying to say, oh, there was a way she perceived Toyin before, but you know, spending time with her has given her a different perspective. Okay, and then it was now time for Chioma and Carolyn. I'm just like, you guys, okay, if you want to kiss, because this love is becoming too much. Okay, and you know, Laura just took the thoughts from my mouth, because there was a part where Chioma was like, oh, Carolyn is this, she's the sweetest, she's this, she's this. I say they gonna say, okay, Carolyn, tell us your own. She gonna say, oh, I'm really endeared to Chioma because Chioma is this, she's a good listener, she's this, she's that. And then Laura was just there rolling her eyes and just said, see, you guys, get a room. Okay, what's with all this, she's this. I better get a room for me. I'm just like, okay, may this thing last, so may it last. I know it's how they talk. Okay, Miriam also went ahead to express how she felt about the handshake that Carolyn gave to her the previous night. So for Miriam, she felt like when she came in to meet the girls while they were playing the games and all of that, which was the first time of her meeting, you know, some of them, you know, for her, she felt a certain way when she extended the hand of friendship. Well, I don't know if that would be a hand of friendship. She was just trying to shake Carolyn, and for her, she felt like Carolyn just gave her this type of handshake that you give people that have COVID. Like, why are you shaking the tip of my finger? Do I have COVID and all of that?
I did this to shake your hand, and you literally acted as if I had COVID, like this. And I'm like, bitch.
But then afterwards, she realized that, you know, Carolyn is not the bitch that she felt she was, blah blah blah. And Carolyn is like, okay, why do you always have to use the word bitch? The previous night you had asked Chioma's friend why she was coming off as a bitch. Now again you are coming as a bitch. Don't you have any other word in your vocabulary? I'm just like, please let me ask her.
Why do you like using the word bitch? Bitch, every minute, bitch, every it's tiring, girl. Use some other vocabulary.
Because the whole bitch thing was becoming too much. And please, who else noticed, you know, Miriam's accent was just really up and down. Sister, if you want to give us phonetics, give us. If you want to give us Agbo vibes, see, is allowed. Be yourself. No need to do, you know. At one point, I couldn't even hear what she was saying, because I'm just like, okay, sis, what are you saying? Like, open your mouth and talk to us, okay? Just open your mouth. It's fine. It's fine. Like, no pressure, okay? Guys, let me know if you noticed that, or was it just me overthinking things. Like, it just might be me, but let me know, okay? Anyways, guys, they moved away from all of that and showed us the next scene, and it was actually Miriam waiting at the poolside for Laura. You know, Laura later came to meet her. You know, Laura was planning to come back to Lagos and all of that, so she came to have a conversation with Miriam because Miriam had asked for her to come see her. And, you know, they were now talking. See, don't like say Miriam just wanted somebody to gist her about the other ladies, because she started asking Laura, okay, tell me, you know, what has been happening, what do I expect, blah, blah, blah. As she asked Toyin, wait till you know answer her. She's okay, let me direct my question to Laura. And of course, Laura did it with all her full chest. She was like, you know what, nobody is really your friend. You need to know when somebody is your friend and when somebody is just your client. You know, some people are acting like what they are not, pretending to have what they don't. You know, just be careful. I'm just trying to have your back, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Laura, what's this about? Okay, what was this about?
Let me just tell you again, there are a lot of lies going around. People claiming that they have what they don't have. People claiming that they are what they are not.
You know, she just said a lot of things, and she was like, anyways, I also feel like you're a cool person, but I also fear that both of us are going to clash. And Miriam is like, why do you think both of us are going to clash? You know, both of them laughed about it, but Laura insisted that she feels that both of them were going to clash, and she apologized to her. She was like, just in case it happens in the future, I'm apologizing now, okay? And then, you know, Miriam was like, okay, yeah, fine, we get it. If we clash, we clash. You know, we'd always come back, talk about it and laugh about it and all of that. And they hugged, and of course Laura came back to Lagos. Now, part of the reason she came back was to put some things in place for her clothing brand that I had mentioned to you guys, I think in episode 3. Now at this point, yeah, they were back in Lagos, right? And Laura had sent out invitations to the rest of the housewives, you know, telling them she wanted to have brunch with them and also talk to them about her launching, which was coming up soon. It was more like a fashion show. And the first 2 people that got there were actually Auntie Iyabo. Yes, Auntie Iyabo was back, and also Miriam. Now Auntie Iyabo came back just giving us the whole because she had gotten her teeth done. You know, it was all white and sparkly, and she just wanted everybody to see that. She's like, have you not seen my teeth? Like, can't you see something different about my? It was so funny, guys.
I saw that on Instagram that she got her teeth done. Obviously, she came in opening her teeth and said no, she was advertising close up.
You didn't notice anything about my smile?
I like it.
But anyways, they were there just really talking, and because the other ladies hadn't come, Laura started talking to these 2 people about the business and, you know, how she wants them to actually walk her runway. You know, she was pleading with them to come and just walk her runway, blah blah blah, because for her she feels like, you know, she has a relationship with them now, and it would be nice for them to be there and participate, you know. And then while they were talking, yeah, Toyin came in and sat down. You know, they started talking. They laughed about Iyabo's teeth again, and then, you know, Iyabo was like, what's happening? Where is Carolyn? Where is Chioma? Next thing, there was just a switch. I did not get it, okay? Like, I thought that in the previous scene, Chioma and Laura had made up, like, there was no more bad blood and all of that. Only for me to now see Laura saying, even if you don't come, I don't care, you know,
Did you invite them?
Yeah, I did.
I've not seen them since I got back now.
You haven't?
Sincerely, I don't give a shit if they show up.
It felt like Toyin said something, but we did not hear what it was. And then, you know, Laura just flipped, like, I don't care, it's even better they did not come, blah 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 blah. Iyabo is like, am I missing something here? Like, did anything happen in Abuja? You know, Laura was just talking plenty, that she doesn't know. Yes, that we squash things out, but, you know, I just don't know. Chioma, like, madam, what's going on? I get it that you're pissed that they did not, you know, honor your invitation, but have you tried to find out why? Like, why are you jumping to conclusions, you know, so fast? Like, what is it? Is it because it's Chioma? And I remember you guys hugging and saying, oh yeah, we're cool now, blah blah blah. So what's it called? They happen again. And of course, Iyabo was the mature one. She was like, you know what, let me call and find out. Okay, now before she called to find out, Laura had already said, oh, I know that Carolyn did not come because Chioma did not come. You know, that one doesn't have a mind of her own. Now for the follow she be. And then Toyin was like, oh yeah, maybe she's a Chioma follower. As in, everybody just burst laugh. Iyabo was like, which one be? She's a follower again.
Carolyn seems to do everything Chioma does. Like, if Chioma goes to the left, Carolyn will go to the left. If Chioma, it's not shade, it's something I would say in front of Carolyn.
Chioma just ended the show. Carolyn is a follow.
And then Iyabo decided, you know what, let me call. Now she puts a call through to Chioma, and she's like, Chioma, I've not seen you since I got back. Like, what's up? Why are you not here? Laura invited us. Why are you not here? And then Chioma explained that she was still in Abuja. You know, her auntie was celebrating her birthday and she needed to be there. But matter of fact, she was on her way back to Lagos. And you know, she also mentioned that if she got back in time, she would still join them, you know, but if not, they'll meet another time. And you know, Iyabo was like, okay, so how about Caroline? Why is Caroline not here? And Chioma was like, oh, she's not there. Like, the girl was surprised too. Like, I didn't know that she wasn't there. So Laura needs to calm down. Like, if she still has any bad blood with Chioma, I feel like she should actually just say it, you know. It was just somehow, for me, I didn't like the way, you know, Laura flipped. Like, madam, calm down. You haven't even called to know if the girl is even okay before you now draw your conclusions and say, oh, they did not come, you know. Anyways, the show showed us what to expect in the next episode, and it was Miriam having a conversation with Chioma. You know, she was like, why didn't you come? You know, what's going on between you and Laura? If there's anything remaining, you guys should squash it out. And you know, Chioma is like, with Laura, I try. Like, I don't know if that's why she did not now invite me for the actual fashion show. But then they also showed us Chioma dressed. Now, we don't know where she was going, if she later got an invite, or if she just came to actually crash the whole fashion show thing. Like, we really don't know what it was. But yeah, that's basically what happened in episode 5. Guys, let me know if I missed out on anything. I bet you guys are happy now because this video is quite lengthy. The last one, you guys, oh, Beta, it's too short, it's too short, it's too short. I'll mark it. I hope this is long enough. Anyways, guys, like I said, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment. Did you see the episode? If not, why not? Like, check out the show on Showmax. Okay, it's there on Showmax. And yeah, let's have a conversation in the comment section. But until then, guys, I will talk to you guys on the next one. I love you guys so much. And yeah, I will see you guys. Okay, bye.